Hey guys, welcome to another fantastic and fun night at the Greenville Gab. And I have a super different surprise, something like that. My daughter is joining us tonight because her daddy is sick. So this is going to be a fun conversation. So do me a favor. We start the show every Thursday night with the same thing. Tell me whenever you get on the video where you're watching from and tell me something interesting tonight. Maybe one thing that you love about where you currently live. So I would love to make sure that you are a part of our conversation because tonight's live stream is going to be so much fun with being able to actually meet somebody here that is on our team and that a lot of you are probably going to get the chance to work with. So she has a lot to say tonight. So with that, this is Carrie, and I want you to meet an agent on our team. So the whole purpose of coming here and watching these videos and all of the research that you've had is to make sure that you have the information that you need at your fingertips, but at the same time, you want to have somebody who is versed in this area and really has their thumb on the pulse of the market. So without further ado, she's tired and she's with us tonight. I am going to introduce you to Cheyenne Kozali. So, hey, Cheyenne, thanks so much for hopping on. Cheyenne, you are an agent on our team. So tell us a little bit about yourself.
Hey, everybody. So I am a buyer's agent with Aubree, and sometimes I take listings as well. I've been a realtor for 7 years. I was a teacher for 16 before that. I have 2 boys, and we live in the upstate. We live closer to the mountains because we love the hiking and access that it gives us to nature. And love Greenville. Absolutely love it. Would never leave.
Yeah. How long have you lived here?
This time it's been 8 years.
Yeah.
We had a little stint where there was a exile, I'll say.
Oh dear. Okay. And as far as like you have other life experience, just like I have other life experience. I mean, I was in retail before I got into real estate, and we started helping people relocate and so on. And now your experience is in teaching, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that's something that I think a lot of our people that watch the show with us every week, they ask us about schools, they ask us about areas, stuff like that. So just to be able to tell you, like, that's something that I think that is very helpful because you know more about schools, more about the areas because you've been there, done that a little bit, and you've got kids.
Yes. Pretty well versed with the education system, obviously. I taught in Greenville County and Pickens County. So it's definitely fun when there's a connection that we make with our customers and clients when they really need that information. It's really cool to have it readily available for them.
Absolutely. So, okay. So let's dive into what we're going to talk about tonight, which is basically the top 10 questions that we get whenever you guys are wanting to come to the upstate and relocate. So, Cheyenne, like, start us off. What's one question or one thing that we get from people that are looking to relocate here?
So the top feedback that I get is when they watch your videos and they do research on our area is that they want to be in Travelers Rest and they want to be close to the Swamp Rabbit Trail, or they want to be as close to downtown Greenville as possible.
Yes, absolutely. I get that. So I don't think it's actually realistic for a lot of people to be close to downtown Greenville. Personal opinion, I guess. So why would you say it's not like I don't like I have my opinions. Why do you think maybe it's not realistic to be close to downtown?
It's not realistic for a lot of reasons. For one thing, most people decide against downtown Greenville even when they have the budget because they get more for their money elsewhere. It's still a very affordable market by all standards compared to the rest of the country. But downtown Greenville has certainly increased in value a lot over the last 7 years. There's no question about that. And what you could get even 2 years ago, you can't get for the same price, not even close to the same price anymore. It can also be a little bit more than people are really ready to live in the middle of. They find that if they get bigger backyard and more space and maybe more amenities for the money, it's worth going a little further out.
Yeah, absolutely. Like I find that the people who want to be downtown Greenville or they want to be basically their wants and needs are they want walkability, right?
Mm-hmm.
So like that's something that I know places like Travelers Rest, Greer, even places like Simpsonville and Easley, they have walkability. But maybe not necessarily to like big grocery stores or something like that downtown does have. So that's, I mean, that's what I hear a lot is people that want the walkability. What else? What's something else that maybe we hear a lot from people that are relocating?
I think when people come, they watch your videos, they fall in love with Travelers Rest, downtown Travelers Rest, downtown Greer, downtown.
Well, I live here, and
yes. I think once they come, they have a better understanding of how close they can actually get to walkability in those areas. Greenville's obviously the biggest area, but just size alone, they're very, very small towns. So you're limited in the amount of space that you can get walkability before it's just too far away. So there's not as much walkability maybe as it seems in the videos, just because of inventory more than anything else, and the ability to fit it so close to those downtowns. We have an area that is very much connected by the different businesses within the upstate. So what people find it when they come here, when they're working and have to work outside of the home, is that one of them may be in Spartanburg, the other one may be working in Anderson, Greenville, Easley, Duncan. Those are good areas in between. But our community is very much connected as an upstate, meaning that many people live in one city and work in another. And it's all we cover a large area of the state. We cover almost a third of the state, but it's still a very tight-knit, relatively small area. You can get from Georgia to North Carolina in about an hour and a half to 2 hours driving through South Carolina. And that's the area that we cover.
Yeah, I agree with you, definitely. I think that, I mean, one of the things that we try to do a lot with the videos is showcasing the area, showcasing the important parts and what people are asking about. So I think that's something for sure. She has a lot to say tonight, guys.
I had so much fun. I was able to watch her for Aubree a couple days ago, and mine are getting older, and it was just such a blessing to be able to spend time with that baby.
Absolutely. Like it's what's fun about I think our team is that there's so much more than just real estate. It's life.
Mm-hmm.
And it's definitely, you know what? This is it. So Diane, I'm gonna mute my mic again and take care of her for a second. But
Okay.
could you tell us about one of our most recent clients.
Absolutely. Yeah. So one of the things that I love to share with my clients is just stories of other clients, and I like to call them home stories. So it's kind of the story around the home, right? So it's not just, hey, here's these people who bought a 3-bedroom, 2-bath house in Easley and now they're super happy. Congratulations. It's the story around what the motivation was. What was the dream? Why did they make this move? It's not an easy thing to relocate from, for example, Florida. It's not an easy thing to come with kids and a family. And so we have clients that come through all the time, and we fall in love with every single one of them. They're all different, and they all have very different needs. And so every single time that we work with people, it's fun because it's always different. So one client that comes to mind recently that just closed, they're coming here for an easier, quieter, more peaceful, and also a cheaper way of life. We don't have by any means the cheapest area in the world, but it is certainly more money for your dollar than in most other places, especially when it comes to homes and property. And so they're looking for a place to eventually retire, and they're thinking about what it's going to be like down the road when they're older. And they're thinking about how they want to spend their life and what makes them truly happy. And those are the things that really make my job worth it.
So cool to see those stories, to hear those stories, to get the pictures back. So I just went and took the baby to my other kids. So we'll see how long this lasts, guys. This is what happens whenever husbands are sick. Go figure. All the help that you need. So with that, so I know that I get phone calls all the time, or an email, or it comes in through our website from people that, like, you're looking to relocate, you're looking to get here, you're looking to make that final decision. So what I found successful, at least, is that whenever people come into town and they are making that final decision to, like, how do you make that final decision, basically? So I know that some of the most important things have been, at least in the past, to if you have family here, that makes sense, right? But then I guess, like, Cheyenne, what have your clients had success with whenever they are trying to make their decision to make the relocation?
Yeah, I think, probably the second most frequent question I get is, do you do relocations? What is your level of expertise with relocations? Is this something that you do all the time, or is it, is it something that you specialize in? Because when you have to sell a home and buy one somewhere else, there's a domino effect there. And that can be a very, very stressful situation for the people who are relocating, obviously.
Yeah.
So having a team behind them that they know, one, we do this all the time. I don't know what the percentage is. It's probably around 75 or 80% of our clients are relocating right now. So they're coming from a distance, quite a distance, not just a couple hours away. So that's crucial, is that they're really digging in and looking for the right agent. I tell people all the time when we first meet, we are a professional firm. You can expect the same level of professional service that you get from your doctor, your accountant, your attorney, your financial advisor. We're not throwing a real estate license at the wall and hoping it sticks. We're not doing this on the side. You see the kids. The reason the kids are there is because we've been working all day from 6 a.m. to sometimes even 10 p.m. answering emails, answering texts, staying on top of things, because if we don't and something falls through, that's somebody's money on the line. And that's super important. And we take that very seriously.
Mm-hmm. Yes. And I think, I mean, when these people are, you're looking to relocate, and how do you coordinate all of this? How do you make that decision to go from, uh, for example, like we have a lot of people that relocate from Florida. We have people from all over the country, y'all, even outside of the country that are relocating, and locals as well. I get the question a lot, and Cheyenne, you probably get this question too, that they're like, well, how do I, if I've got to sell my house and I'm using the cash from that house to buy my next house, or that's primarily my down payment money to this next house, how do we do this? Well, so one, we have a network of agents all over the country. So I'd love to get you in touch with friends and connections that we have. I know, Cheyenne, you probably have connections as well. And so we do that. And something that I've heard a lot of is that sometimes you need somebody that's gonna like stay there and kind of poke and prod that agent that's selling your house to do things on time and stay on top of it. And do you need a price reduction, a price adjustment? Is there more marketing that needs to be done? Like what needs to be done? Because you have a kind of like a what am I trying to say? Somebody who can second opinion it all the time, basically. Not trying to do their jobs, but making sure that you work with somebody who is top tier level. And then like coordinating that where you close on one house and you're able to then close on the next house and you're not homeless in between. That's a big thing.
Absolutely. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. It was beautiful how we were able to coordinate that for our buyers at the end of December. And if you're watching, you know who you are, and we love you.
Yeah.
Yes. That was beautiful. That we thought they were going to be in an Airbnb for 5 days, and they were, they said they're awesome. They said it's okay if we are, but like, can we please not? Can we just please not? And it was beautiful how all of that dovetailed together. The biggest, I think that's a huge fear for people relocating is, how is this process going to go? How can I make this go as smoothly for myself and as stress-free as possible? And when people call and ask that question, the only answer I give them is, that's my job. I'm going to do that. You don't have to do anything, because even when you need to do something, yes, even when something needs to be done, we're going to tell you. So we're kind of like your admin for all of the things that you need to do to relocate.
Your special, with relocations specialists. We've got everybody, because it's not just the the realtors involved. It's the lenders, the inspectors, the closing attorneys. It's when you need a mover, or let's say you haven't made the decision on like what area you want to live around Greenville, but you want to be here, so you want to rent for a hot second. We have recommendations for that as well. So I think that's important to note, that we have that relocation specialty. It's not just an out-of-state thing, y'all. It's also for people here in town. How do you go from, I mean, we had a family, that family of what? They had 7 kids. And so a family of 9 moving from one side of town to the other side of town, and just absolutely like, how do you do that and make sure they still have somewhere to sleep at the end of the day? So doing all of that. So let's say, let's go something fun here. So you've got somebody who's coming in and they're coming to Greenville for the first time. Cheyenne, what do they have to experience?
Oh, something fun. Okay, hold on.
No.
The Bohemian.
The Bohemian, the Grand Bohemian.
The Grand Bohemian and Falls Park, which is right outside.
Okay. Yeah. So for y'all that don't know, let's pull this up here. So the Grand Bohemian is when did that open up here in
a year and
Greenville?
a half, 2 years ago.
Okay, so I am going to totally share my screen. Here we go. So this is the Grand Bohemian that they're talking about, that she's talking about, and it looks exactly like this. It's beautiful. There's 146 rooms, I believe. And they all are pretty much situated in such a way that they have a view of the Falls Park, of the river, except for the ones that are on the front side of the hotel. But other than just that, like, it's a great place. Even, have you ever been in there just to like work?
Yep, absolutely. I went in there to wait for things to start. Like, I'll just wait for a meeting to start, or sit in there and work. The restaurant is fantastic. You don't have to be staying there, obviously.
Yeah, we went there back in October, November, something like that. Just a few, like, it has a spa. The Poseidon is down below the hotel, and there's a bourbon bar. So if you're into that, like, that's downstairs. There it is. Just really nice. They've got, the artwork all throughout as well. So definitely it's worth a stop. Over the holidays, they had a holiday market out front on the green space that they had every day. I think that's where my husband got 2 of my Christmas gifts. So, but they have all these events, conferences. So it's just all sorts of fun stuff. But okay, so Grand Bohemian, where should they come to eat?
Well, that place is obviously really good. Let me see. So here's the thing about Greenville and food, and I've been in Greenville other than the Exile since 2004.
Okay.
So it's been 20 years now. Look at that. Greenville is very much a foodie town. You would not expect that because it's such a small town, a small city, and it hasn't really been on anybody's radar before about maybe 10 years ago. But Greenville has been a foodie town forever. And we have, and I know this from past experience from talking to other people in that industry. There are more excellent restaurants per capita in Greenville than most places. So this is a very long answer to your question.
No, keep going.
That's a hard one. I'd go for brunch at Nosedive or the Grand Bohemian.
Okay, love Nosedive. They have a fantastic veggie plate. It's I'm not a vegetarian, but I love their veggie plate. It's fantastic.
Yeah, Nosedive is great. Passerelle is right there on the river.
Passerelle is French, right? Okay.
Yeah, French Bistro right there at Falls Park. I'd start there.
Okay.
Yeah.
So let's see here. If you go to visit Greenville, southcarolina.com, it kind of goes over all the different, 1,000+ restaurants. So there's I do know that there's about 110 restaurants that are downtown specifically. There's probably more. I ran across in one of our videos. I did the street interviews video. Where ran across a lady who lived downtown, and she was like, there's 146 restaurants that I can walk to. And I was like, okay, that works. So whenever y'all are relocating here, like, you're just coming for a visit, definitely those. I think another really great thing to do, one of mine and my husband's favorite restaurants is either Larkin's or Smoke on the Water downtown. I love them. That's really fun to do too. So as far as like these people, like you're here and they want to experience something that is Greenville. I know what my favorite thing to experience in Greenville is, and you have to hit it perfect timing too. What would be something that's your favorite thing to experience?
My favorite. So are we saying just Greenville or upstate?
Ooh, do the upstate.
Okay, then I'm going to have to go with the state parks.
Okay. What specifically about the state parks is so great?
I'm a mountain girl. I love the mountains. I love waterfalls.
Mhm.
Anytime I can be out in nature. And it's just like North Carolina, it's just cheaper. So if you think about the Western North Carolina mountains and the Blue Ridge, you know, and the rhododendron and the babbling waterfalls, and they're everywhere.
Yeah.
The state parks are phenomenal here.
Yes, absolutely. The closest state park I think that we go to is Paris Mountain all the time. We go and we walk our dogs and take the kids to walk around the little lake that's up there. Or my husband will go and take the girls out on the paddle boats and make the girls paddle him all over the lake and get them really tired, which is great. So they do that. I think one of my favorite things is Artisphere. So it's always over Mother's Day weekend, if I'm not mistaken. It's a nationally known art show. And where I grew up in Southern Illinois. And so there was a nationally known a national art show there in Belleville, Illinois. So to have one here, I think is really important and really cool. And it's something expected that happens every year. Yeah.
So can I
yeah.
tell everybody our secret? I don't know if
Sure.
you've told people this, but Aubree and I have something in common. We're both artists. We both have art degrees. And there's another story for how we ended up in real estate, but both of us have an aesthetic and we love the arts. And Greenville has been since 2004 when they opened Falls Park and invested in the city. They invested a lot of that money specifically in the arts. So the Peace Center, obviously, and then the visual arts. So we have a very thriving arts community here, especially for the size of the town that it is. And Artisphere is one of the top art festivals in the world.
Mm-hmm.
And if I'm not mistaken, it's the 20-year anniversary this year.
Is it really? I'm trying to look it up really fast. Artisphere.
Just got an email about it.
Not 2022. Wow. 2024. So I'm going to show this really fast. So here's Artisphere. May 10th to May 12th. 20. Right there in front of me in the logo, which is great. So cool. Absolutely. And then, yeah, so I have you. Do you have an art degree?
I do. I have a BFA.
See, I have a very long story for y'all that I will not tell on a live stream. But it's definitely, I think what that does is it helps us whenever we look at things different, we look at things creatively, and we're able to, I don't know, we have a different viewpoint on things from like a colors and shapes and modern versus not, and just how we look at things, I think is great. So, cool. Let's see here. So what else is there anything else that people need to know, at least for their expectations around whenever they come to visit or they are looking to make that final relocation that they need to know? Like, any final thoughts on it?
But do you mean the first initial trip?
Yeah, like, well, let's say they make their decision to make their relocation here. Okay. What happens next?
They make the decision to relocate here.
Mm-hmm.
That would be the time that they need to give us a call and tell us, hey, it's time. Before that, we want to be there as a resource. We want to be there to help you and guide you. We have a whole system that we've created around helping people relocate from start to finish. And about 3 or 4 steps in is when we start really diving in, getting that pre-approval, setting appointments for showings.
Yeah. So that's when they get to come and see houses.
Right.
Yes. So I think that's really important. Whenever somebody's relocating, it's important to know that, one, like, you've got to love the area. 2, making the final decision that you are going to move here. And then 3, like, getting all of those steps set up that way, whenever you start seeing those houses, like, you're ready to go. I have a wonderful client right now that, like, they moved here to the area. They know what they want. We've seen a couple different styles of houses. I was just out with them yesterday, and they've done everything the right steps. They've sold their house first. They got here, and, like, there's lots of different ways to do this. I think there's lots of different, like, gray areas to do this. Like, if you aren't sure how to sell your house first, decide to buy a house here at the same time. Maybe you're relocating for a job. Maybe you're relocating for family, or retiring, and you're ready to get away from all of the snow or cold weather, because that's happening all over the country, is to just go ahead and, like, we can guide you every step of the way. And that's just kind of how we've seen success. Is you take the tour, but you're doing the steps before you get to do the most fun part of this whole thing, which is going out and seeing houses together. So, how many houses do you think you're showing clients right now before they find one?
4 or 5.
It's not bad. Are they resale? Are they new construction? Is it a mix?
The majority is, well, it's a mix. There may be a little bit of majority over in new construction.
Okay.
There is not a lot of inventory, so there's really not a lot of homes to actually get in the
There's
car.
more inventory than there was 2 years ago. I will say that.
This is true. I am not finding as much as I need. We'll put it that way. So going to new construction, So going to new construction is a good option. People want turnkey. They
How
don't want
long is the build time that you're seeing?
4 months usually.
Okay. Yeah, I think the bigger the house, the longer the build time. So maybe 4 to 6 if you're building like a 4,000 square foot house.
Oh, certainly it would be maybe even 9. Yeah.
Yeah. Gotcha. Okay. Cool. So, I mean, I see that a lot. We have new construction lists. Like, if you want to do custom build, we have a list of custom builders. If you want to do more of what I would call that big box build, so that's going to be your DR Hortons, Eastwood, Mungo, Ryan, though that's a whole different story if you go with them. And then it's also who am I missing? SK, Crescent. There's a lot. Lennar,
Meritage,
Truist. Trust Homes is what is the other one. So yeah, so there's a bunch of different options whenever you come here, and like that's important. So okay, so tell our audience, like, they're coming in, and I mean, you guys you watch our videos, you see me. I brought Cheyenne on here to show you the face of somebody that I trust so highly to help you do this, and like can answer questions, and to really make sure that everything along the way is smooth. What's the story on Ryan Holmes? Oh dear. Okay,
Thank you for saying that, Aubree.
Okay. John Walsh is asking about Hunter Quinn. Hunter Quinn's a newer builder in the area. I think they've been here for a while, but they are slowly but surely starting to pick up steam. And then Will is asking about Ryan Holmes. So I can answer the question about Ryan Holmes, or you can, Cheyenne.
Go ahead, Aubree.
Cool. Okay. So Ryan Holmes builds a beautiful home. And they have some of the prettiest neighborhoods around, but so does DRB, formerly Dan Ryan. So does Eastwood. Crescent Homes has a fantastic neighborhood called the Settlement. SK Builders is building in O'Neill Village right now. All of this to say, all of those other builders that I mentioned have no problem working with other realtors. Okay. Builders that work with realtors are awesome. They want us to be a part of the transaction. They want us to be involved and be present. Unfortunately, what my personal experience has been with Ryan Holmes, and I think maybe some others as well, is that Ryan Holmes doesn't play well with realtors. It's really hard to work for free. And that's what they want us to do. So instead, they take what we work hours and hours for, and they say, nope, we're not going to pay you what you're worth. And peace out. We're going to take care of your clients for you. What we have found is that even whenever we say, hey, let's do that, they do not communicate with our transactions coordinator. They do not communicate with us as agents. They build a great house. They build a very pretty house. They build something that I think is very needed in this market. But when it's at the front end of, hey, like we have clients that want to come build with you, and we're going to do our fiduciary duty to them and make sure that we are representing their best interests. The Ryan home builders, at least around here, I think, Cheyenne, we have one deal going right now where we are still waiting on correct information and paperwork from the builder, and it's been under contract since November. Is that right?
That's correct.
Yep. So there's a story on Ryan builders. They build a great house. They build a pretty house. They have a great neighborhood. And just buckle up. We can walk you through it. We have for many clients in the past. And it's something that I'm not afraid of going and helping somebody buy that a home from them. But there's many other options that I would say, let's also look at those as well. So I had 2 clients last year that bought a Ryan home, and they're very happy. So I can't say that you won't be happy buying a Ryan house. Just it might be a little difficult getting it built correctly. So did I miss anything?
Nope.
Great. Okay.
You
Hey, you know what? It's important because they're a big builder in the area. And I think people need to know that, yes, you're looking at new construction, but there's some pros and cons to everybody. Like no builder is perfect here. Absolutely not. They all have something that they need to, I don't know, something that I would wish would be better. But at the same time, I'm not perfect. I don't know. Cheyenne's perfect. That's all we need to know.
No.
Wait, no, that would be Lauren on the team, right?
Mm-hmm. I think that would be Laura Beth, which nobody ever sees.
Oh, that's right, Laura Beth.
She's actually perfect.
So Laura Beth is our director of operations. And she's one of the best behind the scenes person for our team who does, golly, LB does everything.
She does everything. So we don't have to. She does what we used to have to do on our own so that we can actually be right in front of our clients and focusing on them and what they need and not all the other things that can take up a business owner's time.
Absolutely. That is so incredibly true. So there is that. Okay. So is there anything else? I think we're going to go ahead and get ready to sign off for the night. So if you guys are watching right now, and there's a whole bunch of you on here. So if you are currently here and you have any questions for us or how the team works or about the area, leave us a comment. We'll hang on here for probably a couple more minutes and would love to answer your questions. Would love to have Cheyenne answer your questions if you have anything for her. And I mean, she's going to be one of the people so there's currently 3 different agents on the team other than myself that you'll probably get a chance to talk to, and you may end up getting to work with, because let's just be real. I cannot work with everyone. I wish I could, because there's so many awesome people like you that is watching this that it has questions about Greenville. So we do have a schedule where we would love to schedule a 15-minute phone call with you, just as an exploratory call. That might be with me, that might be with Cheyenne, could be with Lauren or Morgan on the team, and answering your questions about the upstate, how all of this works. So definitely that's fun. So okay, Cheyenne, if there is one thing that you can tell somebody that you would want them to know about living in the upstate, what would you want them to know?
One thing to know about living in the upstate.
I know I put you on the spot. I love that.
You put me on the spot. I mean, it's awesome. Like this is the best place in the world, hands down, no question about it. I was a gypsy. I've lived in a lot of different places, and for me, this is home.
Yeah, I agree. This is a fantastic place. When I talk to people about where they have lived and the things that they have experienced, and when they get to come here and they're experiencing Greenville for the first time, or they're super interested in what's coming soon, and they want to know how we're growing or something new that's coming to the area, like that's just Greenville. Which I think is really great, just to know that you have the best of many different worlds. The foodie world, the art world. We're the buckle of the Bible Belt. So if you're looking for a good church, you're going to find it here. The mountains, you can be at the beach in a day trip, 3 hours, not bad. We have the lakes within 30 minutes of here, which is a lot of fun during the summertime to get away. I agree with you. Absolutely. And I think
the word that a lot of clients and I end up coming up with when we're talking about it is Goldilocks. It's the Goldilocks place. It's great value, mild temperatures, beautiful outdoors, more money on your dollar. You've got tons of options for jobs. You can get to the beach, you can get to the mountains. You're not in an area where taxes are high. I mean, we could just go on and on about why people want to be here.
Yeah, absolutely. Definitely. So cool. Well, I don't think we have anybody that's going to be super talkative to us tonight, Cheyenne. So
no questions about school from anybody?
I mean, come on. Ooh, so Ricky says, how about, ooh, you would have, see, here we go. Ricky and John coming in clutch.
Nice.
So Ricky says, how about places for Pilates, gyms, supermarkets, anywhere that they should know?
Yeah, they're everywhere.
So
You've got options, and I mean, until you get out in the more, I guess, rural areas.
yeah.
What were you going to say, Aubree?
Well, I was gonna say, like, when you say Pilates and gyms, and supermarkets and stuff, like, I think there's a big difference between the Food Lion down the street and like Harris Teeter
Sure.
or Lowe's food up in Greer, where you can go and grab a beer and walk around and grocery shop.
Right.
So, or if you're, so we always get questions like, where's the Costco? Where's the Sam's? Where's the Trader Joe's?
Mm-hmm.
It's a big one. So doing stuff like that. And then also like your Pilates and gyms, pickleball is a big deal. I don't know where people play pickleball around here. My brother does though, so I should ask him.
Furman.
Oh, Furman?
One place. A lot of communities are now putting in pickleball. What do you call them? Fields? Courts? What are they called?
Courts?
Courts. Yeah. And
Sports ball.
yeah, amenities are popping up like that all over the place. The newer communities are putting in pickleball, tennis, pools. They're making it a lot more like, not exactly like O'Neill Village, but getting in that direction. So having more to do within the neighborhood, so you feel more of a community.
Yeah, definitely. Will asks, does Charlotte's IKEA deliver to Greenville? Not that I know of. Maybe I've never had them come to Greenville. I just like, I have so many different people there's so many people that make that trip every day, that they usually can pick something up for me. I don't know. Have you ever ordered anything from IKEA?
No.
I don't know. Sorry, Will, I can't answer that question for you. Let's see here. John. All right. New construction homes with basements are hard to do in the upstate. What's your answer for that, Cheyenne?
No. I mean, you've got to have a lot that you can put a basement. So there's that, but there's plenty of lots. I can find you a basement lot. Call me.
Yeah. I call those types of houses here in the area. Those houses are business in the front, party in the back, because it's a walkout basement every single time.
Love it.
Because we're the ground is all red clay, so like you don't find basements like you find them up north, or maybe even in like Illinois, Indiana, Kansas. You're not going to find the basements, the cellars here, because the ground is just all red clay.
Yeah, I get that. They're definitely not as prevalent as they are where you're talking about, and sometimes people are surprised by that when they come to those places, especially. If you want a basement bad enough, we can definitely find you one. We don't have as many, obviously, and they come. I mean, they are highly sought after.
Very much.
So yeah.
Very, very much. So cool. Wonderful. All right. Well, cool beans. All right. So Cheyenne, thank you so much for coming on tonight. Like, I'm excited that they got to meet you and like see your face and hear your voice, because really you're going to end up getting to talk to Cheyenne or another agent on the team. You might get to talk to me. And if you don't, cool. Like, you get to talk to my people, which I think they're cooler than I am anyways. So I'm probably even better at their jobs than I can possibly be at helping you find a house. I know Cheyenne is top notch at what she does. And you look out for your clients better than anybody else I know. So I
Thank you.
am entrusting them into your hands. And we have a lot of knowledge, guys. So thanks so much for hopping on here, for joining our live stream every Thursday night. Catch us next week talking about what's going on here in the upstate again. Thursday night, 8 o'clock, Greenville Gab. Thanks a bunch. Talk to you later. Bye.